So God, this story is gonna feel or seem really depressing, but trust me, it gets better. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a very long time, so I was getting ready and I thought that I can do a video just to explain where I've been and what's been going on. I want to say thank you to everyone who followed me from YouTube to like my Instagram and other social media platforms. You guys are amazing, and I know you guys have been asking me for videos for a very long time, and it just I wasn't ready for that yet. While I do my makeup, I'm just gonna tell you what's been happening over the last year and a half. I had got pregnant with my daughter. When I got pregnant with my daughter, it was really scary because I have lupus. They told me after my son, the doctors told me very specifically, do not have any more kids. So when I got pregnant with my daughter, I was very scared. They said that it was a very high risk and very dangerous, and there was a high percentage that I wouldn't make it, she wouldn't make it, we both wouldn't make it. There was a lot of risks. As I was going through all the doctor's appointments and I was constantly sick, constantly in pain, I did make 2 videos. I made the videos, my doctor's appointments and everything, and I never posted them. I never posted them because I just wasn't in the right mindset, I guess, to post them. Fast forward a little bit. Pretty fast after I found out that I was pregnant, we unfortunately found out that my ex-husband was shot. He ended up passing away. So that was something really hard on me, because even though we weren't together at the specific time that he passed, it was very hard on me. Somebody I was with since I was like 15 years old. I spent 9 years with this man, and he's a big part of my life. Explain it, it was like, but what I will say is the pain and then the whole pregnancy thing, when he got shot, he passed away about a couple days later in the hospital. So with all that and the funeral and everything going on, me being pregnant, the stress was really high. I went through a lot of depression. I was in a very dark place. When I say I was in a really dark place, I mean I was in a really dark place. It was really bad for me. It was very emotional, very traumatizing, very sad. So that eventually led to me having my daughter prematurely. And when she was born, it was right when COVID hit. So it was like the beginning 2 months after COVID hit and everything was like shut down. What happened was I was in a lot of pain. I went to the hospital and I thought, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get a checkup, they're gonna get a shot, like, you know, to keep her up, like how they typically would. But when I went to go check, the lady was like, no, we have to transfer you to the other hospital, which is like a NICU specialist hospital here. And she said, we have to transfer you right away, you're gonna give birth and this baby is too small. It was really scary and traumatizing, and at that time it was like nobody could be in there with you. Nobody at all could be in there with you, just one other person. So my husband now, he got to be in the room with me, and so we were in the room, we were scared, we were terrified. So I gave birth to her and they took her right away from me. My placenta actually ruptured inside me, so I was going through that. I passed out a couple times, I almost died. I didn't even get to see my daughter until really late that night, next morning. And when I did get to see her, I had to be in there alone, just me and her, which I was grateful for because I really didn't care. I just wanted to see my daughter. The thing with that is that going through something like that with them, like, you don't know if your baby's gonna make it, and even from the beginning they were telling you that you guys are high risk. It was just really traumatizing, and the fact that I didn't have my mom there or like my family, it was like really hard. After that, she had to stay in the hospital for a couple months, and then when she finally got to come home, I was so sick just from the back and forth. I would sit outside the hospital because of the COVID. I couldn't stay with her, so I would have to just visit, and then I'd have to leave and they would do shift change and come back and forth, and it was only from certain times. I got really sick and really thin, so I was really skinny. I looked horrible. I looked like something was really wrong with me. Of course, it was because of the stress, everything that I went through, and this was only like a couple months apart. And when she finally got to come home, I was even more terrified because the whole time that she was in the hospital, of course her lungs weren't working, she would stop breathing, her heart would stop, and I would get like really bad anxiety, really bad depression. So when she got home, it was even more scary because I was like, okay, so what happens if like her heart goes down, and I don't know because I'm not there with all the machines. And so it was a couple months of like really scary times. I went through a really bad depression, and when I say really bad, I went really bad. Traumatizing stuff that happened didn't really hit me until after I knew my daughter was home. She was home with me, we're okay, and then everything just hit. So I ended up on medication. I couldn't even go like down the street without having like anxiety attacks or panic attacks. So I ended up on a lot of medication, plus the medication for my lupus, and my body was just like failing me. So God, this story is gonna seem really depressing, but trust me, it gets better. So after I was on medication and trying to get back to like normal, I decided that it was best for me to take control of my life. I need to stop playing like this victim role. That's how I felt. And you shouldn't feel that way, because at the end of the day, people going through stuff, I mean, you're entitled to your feelings and you're entitled to the pain and anything that you feel like you have to do to cope. I felt like I was just dwelling in my own depression for a very long time. What I did was, so I always did the modeling before, because my main thing wasn't always modeling. I love it. I absolutely love it. But my main concern wasn't always modeling. It was the acting. I always wanted to act. I always wanted to be on TV shows, things like that. Unfortunately, where I'm from is a very small town, and I never got the opportunity when I was younger. I was getting really depressed, and I think at that time, my best friend, I think she kind of noticed it, because she knew my ex-husband too, so she was going through her own stuff with him. So what happened was, we grew up together. I was with him for a very long time, and she was actually with his brother. So she's gonna hate me for saying it, but she was actually with his brother, and that's how we grew up together. And so losing him was like losing a brother, you know. So she was going through stuff too, and I think she's seen that with everything going on with that, with his passing and my child, and just everything in general. It all started from a meme I had sent it to her, and I was like, oh, we need to do a best friend photo shoot. She said, okay. So I didn't think nothing of it. I was more like, oh, whatever, like it's just something I sent her. But I guess she kind of noticed that I wasn't doing so well, and so she booked it. She paid for it. She was just like, let's go. And I was like, girl, I was like, I'm not ready to be out there like that. Like, I don't really want to. I just want to be home. We did the photo shoot. We posted them everywhere, because of course it was like a 90s theme, like kind of how like we used to dress, you know, when we were younger. She said that it was her way of like having a remembrance, but also remembering who we were back then and how we didn't have a worry in the world, girl, because we sure didn't. The things that we did, well, the things that we did, oh God, we should have been, I don't know. But anyway, let's not talk about that, because I don't want YouTube getting mad at me. And I ended up going viral on TikTok for these news posts that I used to do. And after that, like, I would get reached out by like other people. Oh, can you model for me? Can you do this? Can you do that? And at first I was like, I'm not doing it. Like, I mean, I know it's something I always wanted to do, but I really don't want to do that right now, you know? But I ended up taking a risk, going and doing a couple shows and a couple photo shoots, and it actually worked out in my benefit. It's a lot of hard work. And I know people see these models, whether they're on Instagram or whatever, and they think, oh, you're just taking pictures like on your phone and, you know, you're a model, you know? And it's a lot harder than it looks. It's a lot more work than it looks. It's always being on your grind. It's a whole process, and that's for another video. Like, it was like a healing process for me. It gave me a way out of the house, a way out of my mind, a way out of my thoughts and feelings. When I was about 18, like I said, I always wanted to do the acting thing. So when I was about 18, this is a quick little story for you guys to never give up on your dreams and just shoot your shot, okay? I wrote to this director, right? And I was like, hey, look, I'm 18, I'm from so-and-so, like, I just want to know if I can audition, or if you can let me know when there's a casting call for one of your movies. Because at that time, to me, he was like, oh my God, and he still is, and his name's Joshua. And at the time I was like, oh my God, he's like, everything that he did was so amazing to me, and I just really wanted to show him that I can act. So I had wrote to him, and like I said, I was like, oh my God, like, I just want to be in one of your movies. If you can give me, I'm not asking for like a handout. I know I covered my face, I'm sorry. I'm not asking for a handout or anything. All I'm asking for is like a chance to like audition. I was just like, can I audition for you? And then this man wrote me back, like, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe he fucking wrote me back. Like, I didn't think he was gonna even see my message, you know. I was just like, I'm gonna write, see what happens, and a whole lot of praying. And he wrote me back, and he said, okay, can you send me over this and this and this and this and that? So I was like, ooh, because he wanted, like, of course, everything they asked for, headshots and all this stuff, and I didn't have that. Of course, I was 18. I never knew what that type of industry was, or I didn't even know what a headshot was. I was like Googling it, and so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna leave it. But I did write him back, and I was like, okay, well, I don't have none of that. I don't have it right now, but when I do have it, I'll make sure to let you know and send it over. Mind you, this is when I was 18. Okay, so damn near 10 years later, present time last year. If that makes sense. I don't even know if that makes sense. But so I'm modeling. I've done a couple like little skits here. I've done some extra work now. I'm trying to get into the whole thing, right? And I message him. And I'm like, hi, I don't know if you remember me. I'm pretty sure you don't, because I wrote to you about 10 years ago. Yeah. And I was like, my name is Crystal, like, da-da-da-da, right? And I was like, you had told me that I needed this and this and this and that. And I told you I would let you know and send it over when I had it. And now I have it. Yes, I did that. So, again, I was like, you know what? It's been so long. This man doesn't even remember me. And on top of that, like, by this time, 10 years older, of course, he's had all kinds of movies and did this and did that. And he's been all over the world. And I was like, that man don't know me or don't remember me. And he's probably not even remember me back. But it's okay, because, again, shoot your shot, because you never know. So, what happens? He wrote me back. And he was like, hey, yes, of course I remember. He's like, I've been following your content over the years, just like, you know, because I do remember you. And I was like, oh, holy shit. So he goes and he's like, I'm doing a movie right now, but I may have something for you. My next project, I'll let you know. So at that time, I was like, okay, thank you. I really appreciate it. Just let me know. I didn't think that he was really gonna remember, because again, like, I was like really skeptical, and I was just like, oh well, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe he will remember, like, who knows. And I didn't think nothing of it. I was hoping for the best but expecting the worst. I think it was like a month later, and he writes me and he tells me, hey, I have this role for you, and can you give me a call? We can go over like the details and see if it's something you'll be interested in. So I didn't care what the hell the role was. I did not care. This man did not even need to tell me what it was. I was just like, I'm gonna do it. But I called and we talked, and he gave me the role in this movie. He's like, yeah, but it's gonna be on the East Coast. We were struggling, so I was like, oh my God, like, how the hell am I gonna get over there? But I don't care how I'm gonna get over there, but I'm gonna do it. So we're talking, we're going back and forth. He's sending me contracts, he's sending me the script. We have a table read, like a virtual table read, because again, this is like kind of COVID still. So he calls me and tells me, hey, like, okay, so the filming is gonna be about 10 days. And I'm like, oh my God, because again, I have my kids. I have my son, who's at this point was diagnosed with autism. I am terrified because I've never left my kids, you know, like, I've never left them. I mean, to go do modeling and photo shoots and this and that, little commercials, okay, that's like a day thing, and it's not 10 days across the United States, you know. But anyways, the whole point of this is I did it. I went and I cried every day, and I cried so much. I even wrote letters to my kids. I wrote letters to my kids in case something happened to me. Like, I was really dramatic, I guess. I'm supposed to be an actress, right? I went, and it was probably the best decision I ever made in my life. And the director and Theron, they were probably like the sweetest people. I met some other actresses there who were amazing and beautiful and wonderful, and just a great environment. They were amazing to work with. I learned a lot. Everyone was so genuinely nice. I did the movie. I came back. I did that. I've been doing a lot of work with the shows, the lowrider shows, lowrider modeling. And it's probably the best thing I ever did, just for me, because I feel like I've always been somebody's somebody. And I don't know if that makes sense, but I'll try to explain. Like, I've always been somebody's someone. So, like I said, I met my ex-husband when I was really young. I was 14, 15. And then I was his wife. Like, I was always his girlfriend and then his wife. Because after that, after we broke up, I went into depression and I didn't go out, didn't do nothing. And then I met my husband now. And then I was his wife. And then I was my kid's mother. And I was the provider. And I was the sister who you call to, like, take care of things. And I was always somebody. And I couldn't ever be me. And I know that sucks. And I know it's, like, sounds horrible to say, but it's true. It wasn't ever a problem. It's not like I regret it. It's nothing like that. It's just that I never really dove in and did anything just for me. I love being a mother. I love being a wife. I love my life. It's just, I mean, I go through hard things like everybody else. I am really appreciative of where I'm at. And even without the acting and the modeling or anything, I'm just appreciative of my life. Things that people take for granted, I learned very early not to. Because no matter what you think you're going through right now, somebody's always going through it way worse. You have a roof over your head, you have food in your fridge, you don't really need anything. If you need it, like, it happens. It's not like I'm going months or like years without something or struggling. I go through things just like everybody else. People have it a lot worse. People have it a lot freaking worse. There's so much to be grateful for, and that's why I say, like, I'm grateful for what I do have. I am doing the whole acting and the modeling and going out there to show, promoting events, or I go and I, like, sign posters, or I give out posters or stickers or whatever. That, I feel like it's kind of my selfish me being, you know, like, that's for me. I love it. It's for me, you know, type thing. But it's also for my kids, because the way I grew up is not the way I want them to grow up. And it's not that my mother was a bad mother. She was a mother raising 6 kids by herself. It was just, I want them to have more. It's like I'm doing it and it's benefiting me both ways. I'm doing something I love, something I've always dreamt about doing. And on top of that, hopefully with God's help, it can go into something bigger. So yeah, that's basically what I've been doing. That's why I didn't post in the beginning. I was kind of like, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not going to do it anymore. It kind of came back to me. I don't know how else to explain it. I know this, like, seemed really depressing in the beginning, like, damn, but like, it gets better. If you want to do your own cooking show, or you want to, like, open a clothing line, like, the best thing to do is just to do it. Like, I have my 3 kids, I have my husband, and I'm living a regular life. I didn't think like that. So it was really amazing to finally, like, come and do the thing that I tried to do 10 years ago, if that makes sense. So I just want people to understand that story and just take it in and be like, you know what, if she could do it, I could do it. Because I am from the middle of freaking nowhere. I literally have to drive 2.5 hours to LA for my photo shoots, for shows, for anything. And I don't care, I'll do it every day if I have to. Because if you want it, you gonna do certain things that you wouldn't regularly do to get there. If it's, just do it. What's the worst that can happen? It doesn't work out. Okay, then you're back to where you were starting from. And then the best thing that could happen is it does work out, and you look back and you're like, damn, 10 years ago I begged for this, and now I'm doing it. And it's like an accomplishment, and that nobody can take that away, because it comes with, even if you're don't even do anything with nothing like that, and you're doing hair in a salon, you're gonna have people coming, haters, whatever, people talking shit. And you know what, at the end of the day, they can never take that away from you. Nobody that can talk down about you can ever take your accomplishments away from you. You can talk all the crap you want, but at the end of the day, you can't take away what I worked so hard for and accomplished dreams. Not all my dreams, but I've accomplished most of my dreams, and you can't take that away. You can't. No matter what you try to say in my comments or my DMs, or you try to say to other people, or you talk down, nothing you say can ever take away what I've done. And I'm not saying it's easy at all, because it's not. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of tears, blood, sweat, and tears, girl. It is. But it's worth it. Everything was worth it. And even if it's all gone tomorrow, which I pray that it's not, but even if it's all gone tomorrow, I'm okay with that, because at the end of the day, went from a very dark place to a place that I'm just grateful for everything, and I'm happy. I'm unapologetically me, and nobody can take that away from me, even if it all ends tomorrow. So there's my long ass story. So I am gonna end this video here. So don't forget to let me know what you guys want to see, and until next time.